Imagine building a market-ready web app with zero code in a tenth of the time of traditional development. No developers, no technical debt, just results. With the right no-code software, you can transform your idea into a polished product that's ready for real users, faster than you ever thought possible. Hi, I'm Tom from XRay.Tech, the workflow company. In this video, I'll show you some of the best no-code apps you can use to build your product. I'll start by covering a couple of great choices for backend databases as well as user-friendly front ends. I'll also show you a couple of automation platforms that can make your app perform nearly any action you can think of. Let's get started. The no-code stack that I'll share in this video will use Airtable as the backend along with automations built in Zapier and Make. To build a polished front-end interface, you can employ an app called Softr. Now, let's take a look at each of these tools and how they contribute to your final product. I'll start with the backend. To build the backend database of your no-code product, I'd almost always recommend using Airtable. If you're not familiar with Airtable, it's essentially a spreadsheet app on the surface. However, when you take the time to learn how to use Airtable, it can go much further than a simple spreadsheet. You can find several videos here on our channel that demonstrate Airtable's capabilities in depth, but I'll give you a quick idea of what it can do right now. Airtable has customizable filters and views that let you control exactly how your data is sorted based on your own configured settings. This makes Airtable a very convenient way to analyze your data, but it also makes it an ideal database to support no-code automation. For instance, you can create a view that only contains all of the users who signed up for your product in the last year. As soon as the user sign-up date is older than a year, they'll be removed from that view automatically. You won't need to do anything to update it. You could then have them enter a new view for long-term users and set up an automation that instantly sends them a templated email asking for feedback about your app. With Airtable, your databases aren't just static places to store information. They can take action proactively and automatically. Another key feature in Airtable is the ability to link records across tables. Let's say you've got one table listing all of your users, another for support tickets submitted by your users, and a third for all of the members on your support team. You can use linked records to connect all of these items together, associate each ticket with the user who submitted it and the support staff responsible for addressing it. With linked records, you can see how different data is related and view the same data in multiple places without needing to make redundant entries. A software developer would call this a relational database. Airtable also has a bunch of additional features like interfaces, form views, and extensions that set it apart from basic spreadsheet apps, but I'll let you explore the rest of Airtable's functionality on your own. Now, I do want to note that Airtable is not a vector store, which is how AI language models store and access information. If you want to set up a database specifically for use in a custom chatbot, you'll need a different tool like Pinecone or Supabase. Leave a comment down below if you want me to make a video specifically about vector stores. In short, Airtable is a highly sophisticated but very intuitive database app that makes for an ideal no-code backend. With its robust free plan, you might even be able to get away with building your minimum viable product for the low price of $0. But if you need larger databases or some of Airtable's more advanced features, then plans start at just $20 per user per month. To help you dive into Airtable and learn the basics, I've prepared a two-part beginner's guide. You can find both of those in the resources board in the description, and part 1 is linked on your screen now. Need some support building with no-code and low-code systems? All of the tools covered in this video are DIY friendly, but expert guidance will always give you a speed boost. With LowCodeEngineers.com, you can get support from a hand-picked engineer in 48 hours or less. Whether you need support for an automation, a website, or a database, our team at LCE will help you get it done and learn how it all works with one-on-one collaborative calls. There's no long-term commitment. Just schedule as much time as you need on a flexible, hourly basis. We guarantee that you'll make progress in every session, getting one step closer to accomplishing your goals with Zapier, Make, Airtable, Softr, or any other low-code app. Just go to LowCodeEngineers.com to reach out and schedule your first hour. Next, let's move to the front end and take a closer look at Softr. Softr is a great tool for building a polished web app for your product. Softr enables user sign-up, account creation, and payment right out of the box. No plugins or coding required. Payments are done with a native Stripe integration, so your product can have a reliable payment processor that your customers can trust. Softr also has the option to use a one-time code system to let users sign in, eliminating the need for them to remember yet another password, and eliminating the need for you to securely store those passwords. Perhaps best of all, Softr connects with Airtable, among dozens of other data stores, making it easy to manage all of your product's data through Airtable's simple visual interface. And while we're on the subject of simple visual interfaces, all of this can be designed and implemented through a drag and drop portal, similar to other WYSIWYG editors like Webflow, Shopify, or Wix. Softr is not something that you'll be able to use to make a pixel-perfect UI out of your fancy Figma designs. Instead, its focus is on functionality, clearly communicating information with a clean, simple design, and letting users interact with the underlying data. For an example of what Softr can do, let's take a look at Debrief. This is an app that I built with my company XRay using Softr and Airtable. Debrief is an automated system that lets our team upload any meeting recording to get an AI-generated summary and full transcription. Once the user logs in, they can see all of their current recordings, upload a new one, or view team members' recordings. With Softr and Airtable, you can build highly functional, highly polished web apps like Debrief in a matter of days or weeks. Of course, you may need a few more tools to finish the product and add all the fancy bells and whistles that you want, and I'll cover a couple of those in a minute. You can build one app in Softr for free, although you'll only have limited access to some of Softr's key features. Paid plans start at $49 a month and let you unlock payment processing, custom code blocks, and a lot more. To get started with Softr, you can check out my beginner's guide linked on your screen now and in the description. Finally, I'm going to show you how you can flesh out your no-code tech stack with automation providers like Zapier and Make. These tools will facilitate the business logic that actually creates value for your product. In other words, they let you move data where you want it to go and perform any action you want to do with it. For example, in our Debrief app, Zapier starts working whenever a recorded Zoom call ends. Zapier connects Zoom, Airtable, and OpenAI to transcribe, summarize, and store every recording. Finally, Airtable connects with Softr to give access to the right user. The user can then view all of their recordings and transcriptions by logging into the Softr Debrief app. This entire chain of automated actions happens without the user needing to do anything except click record on their Zoom call, creating a functional app with a seamless user experience. And it's all done without any code. Now, I've mentioned earlier that Airtable has native automation, so you might be wondering, why do you need something like Zapier as well? While Airtable has some decent support for built-in automations, providers like Zapier and Make go way beyond the abilities and integrations that Airtable has. There are a little over a dozen integrations available in Airtable automations. There are almost 3,000 integrations in Make and over 8,000 in Zapier. Airtable probably supports some of the apps you use every day. Make and Zapier likely support all of them, as well as any app you might use in the future. Additionally, they offer extensive no-code logic to perform complex actions within your automations. You can add loops, if-then statements, routers, formatters, and more, and you can use all of them without writing any code. Zapier, Make, and other similar tools are essentially supplements for your Airtable backend. Whenever you need to do something that Airtable can't do, or can't do without writing code, you can just turn to tools like these. Zapier and Make both offer free plans, although Zapier's free version is little more than a demo. Make's free plan is a bit more useful, but in both cases, you'll need a paid plan to build business-ready automations. Zapier starts at $20 per month, while Make plans begin at just $10 a month. In general, you'll find that Make tends to be a bit cheaper than Zapier, although Zapier is a bit more no-code friendly. I've got beginner's guides for both on this channel. You can check out the Zapier beginner's guide on your screen now, and both are linked in the resources board in the description. You can get to know these tools in greater detail from the tutorials on my channel. Once you've become familiar with them, you'll find that you and your team can build virtually any app that you can come up with. However, the tools I've mentioned here are not your only choices for building a no-code app. A key advantage of using a tech stack like this is modularity. Understanding how each tool fits into the bigger picture makes it easy for you to swap out and adapt new software in the future. You might want to try switching out Softr for WeWeb, or switching out Zapier for another automation provider like Pipedream, a more technical option with great support for custom code. By clearly defining your front end, your back end, and your automation provider, you can easily isolate the parts of your product that you want to update without having to change the rest. Whichever specific tools you use, a no-code tech stack is the fastest way to set things up. In entrepreneurship, speed is often more important than perfection. How quickly can you get something working? How quickly can you get feedback from real users to learn if your problem is actually worth solving? With these no-code tools, you can move much faster than you would with traditional code. So start using Airtable, Softr, Zapier, and Make to begin building and iterating right now. If this video helped you out, like and subscribe to the channel for more AI and automation updates every single week. You can also find me and my company XRay by searching for XRay Automation on nearly every social media platform. For now, I've got to go, so until next time, find your focus and stay in flow.